McDonald's Not, Lovin Russia, your news update, and it's your roadkill and you want it now on this edition of State of the Bands Weekend, starting right now. Hey, and welcome to Arbitrage State of the Bands Weekend for March 19th, 2022. I'm Joshua Stark. About 45 million Americans say they plan to bet on this year's March Madness College Basketball Championship Tournament, and an increasing percentage will do it in a way that doesn't include filling out brackets, according to the gambling industry's national trade group. In a report released Sunday night, the American Gaming Association predicted that $3.1 billion would be wagered on this year's tournament, a figure that includes legal bets as well as those placed with illegal bookies or offshore websites. The report asserts that more than 17% of American adults will place at least one bet on the tournament. Just as McDonald's paved the way for other brands to enter the Soviet market, its exit led to a cascade of similar announcements from other U.S. brands. Starbucks closed its 130 outlets in Russia. Yum Brands closed its 70 company-owned KFC restaurants and was negotiating the closure of 50 Pizza Huts that are owned by franchisees. It was the first American fast food restaurant to enter the Soviet Union, reflecting the new political openness of the era. For Vlad Vlexer, who as a 9-year-old waited in a 2-hour line to enter the restaurant near Moscow's Pushkin Square on its opening day in January 1990, it was a gateway to the utopia he imagined the West to be. So it was all the more poignant for Vexler when McDonald's announced it will temporarily close that store and nearly 850 others in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Ireland's privacy watchdog has fined Facebook's parent company Meta 17 million euros for violating Europe's privacy law. The regulator, the Data Protection Commission, has been investigating how Meta Platforms Incorporated complied with the requirements of the law known as General Data Protection Regulation in how it handled personal data in 12 data breach notifications between June and September 2018. The agency said Tuesday that it found that Meta didn't have the right measures in place to show that it could protect EU users' data. The fine is about record-keeping practices from 2018 that we have since updated, not a failure to protect people's information, the company said in an emailed statement. We take our obligations under the GDPR seriously and will carefully consider this decision as our processes continue to evolve. Keep listening to State of the Bands Weekends as we talk about this. Wyoming's new roadkill feature within the State Department of Transportation app helps people quickly claim accidentally killed deer, elk, moose, wild bison, or wild turkey after documenting the animal and reviewing the rules for collecting roadkill to eat. Another purpose is to help people follow the rules. For safety reasons, roadkill in Wyoming may not be collected after dark, along interstate highways, or in construction zones. National parks such as Yellowstone and Grand Teton are also off limits for roadkill retrieval. Unlike in other states such as Alaska, roadkill meat in Wyoming cannot be donated to anybody, including charities. The whole carcass must be retrieved, not just the antlers or hide. In Oregon, which allows people to claim roadkill with an online form, people must surrender the head and antlers to wildlife authorities within 5 days, but in Wyoming, the whole animal is fair game.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This week's State of the Bands blog includes, we use our degrees around here.
Not likely.
Herbie the Hate Bug, and Royce and I talk about strange ways to eat on a budget. Yeah, all this and more in this week's State of the Bands blog, available now at arbitragetrade.com. Now let's go to the Chief Executive Officer of Arbitrage, Mr. Royce Wells, for more. Royce, we have a very distinguished person who wrote our article this week, Miss,
Yikes.
Miss Ari Walter.
Yes.
Uses her degree in chemistry this week, talking about hydroxychloroquine.
Oh, cool.
That's right. Hydroxychloroquine. Quine is it's kind of a structurally quinine. It has the potential to treat rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, malaria, that sort of thing. And quinine, of course, is kind of a family of drugs that we used to use for head pain, headaches, and that sort of thing. Now we use it for rat poison.
Yeah, so you're telling me we're taking rat poisoning.
So in this instance, if you're talking about what we call a trade Plaquenil, if you want to get rid of the COVIDs, supposedly, you can take Plaquenil. But, however, they have found new uses for Plaquenil. Like I said, they use it for treatment for lupus. They use it for treatment for rheumatoid arthritis and malaria. There's another C. It might help. Cancer.
Oh, that C word. My bad. I thought you were talking about something completely different. Keep going.
I don't even want to know. Hydroxychloroquine is something that needs to be prescribed and administered by a doctor, and it's important to note side effects because you could lose your sight with it.
And I told you might go blind doing that.
Not only that, but you get altered, diminished reflexes, tinnitus, skin inflammation, urinary incontinence, and muscle atrophy, just to name a few. I didn't know I was going to be doing an ad for a medication today.
That sounds very, very informative. She did use her degree very well for this segment,
yes,
and
she
we're
did.
Butchering it.
We are absolutely butchering it. But, however, like I said, hydroxychloroquine has the potential of being used as a cancer treatment. At least stage 2, certain cancers, both of the head and neck, apparently, and also can be used in conjunction with other medications. For example, hydroxychloroquine also seems to work well with cisplatin, which is a chemotherapy drug.
Yeah, what about caffeine? Because I know I get migraines, so you mix it
it's similar, kind of, because you can mix caffeine with aspirin and you have Excedrin.
Yeah, see, Excedrin migraine, like I said.
I'm starting to get a migraine about this segment.
It's beautiful.
It's something.
Hey, you asked for this. I just showed up.
I did ask for this, didn't I? More after this on Arbitrage State of the Bands Weekend. Stick around for more with this guy.
Sorry.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
First came the beeping alarms and dashboard light warning that something had gone haywire. Then the driver's side windows suddenly and mysteriously rolled down. Kendall Hyman's Volkswagen SUV then pulled the scariest stunt of all. It abruptly braked for no reason. Hyman, a clinical social worker in Lawrence, Kansas, was driving her 15-year-old son to a class on January 5th when her 2021 Atlas Cross Sport went bonkers. The malfunction has turned a normally routine 2-mile round trip into a white-knuckle ordeal. It literally feels like the car is possessed, Hyman said. I'm not feeling like I'm driving my car is driving me. Hyman's experience, it turns out, wasn't unique. Since late 2020, 47 VW owners have complained to the National Highway Traffic Safety and Administration about the same glitches in their 2020 and 2021 VW Atlas and Atlas Cross Sport SUVs. Some drivers reported that they narrowly escaped collisions, though a review of the complaints found no reports of crashes. In a statement, NHTSA says that it has been gathering information from VW about the problem and is monitoring complaints and other data sources. The agency hasn't opened a formal investigation, and it would have to collect and analyze additional data before it could seek a recall. Complaints about unexpected braking involving the VW SUVs began in September 2020, 8 months before Hyman bought her SUV, records show. In a statement, Volkswagen said it is working on the problem, but stopped short of saying it's recalling the affected vehicles. VW is aware of concerns involving faulty door wiring harnesses in certain Atlas and Atlas Cross Sport vehicles, the company said. We are working closely with NHTSA concerning the next steps toward identifying the affected vehicles. After her SUV's unexpected braking on January 5th, Hyman initially kept driving, figuring that the problem was a bizarre fluke. The SUV and a VW app flashed malfunction alerts, she said, but neither displayed a message to stop driving the vehicle. Her Cross Sport braked unexpectedly a few more times that day, but she was able to override the SUV with the gas pedal. Heading into a roundabout on the way home with her son the same day, the SUV abruptly braked and came to a complete stop, Hyman said, and another SUV narrowly missed rear-ending her. She shut the engine off and restarted it to override what she thinks was a malfunction of automatic emergency braking. January 5th was the first time she had encountered the problem with the Cross Sport, which she bought in May 2021. Once home, Hyman called her dealer's service department and got an appointment the next day. On the way there, she said, the SUV braked mysteriously again while exiting a 2-lane highway. They didn't tell me it wasn't safe to drive to the dealer, she said. In the shop, a mechanic detected a problem with the wiring harness in the driver's door, but she was told that there weren't any parts to fix it. Electrical shorts and wiring harnesses can cause multiple problems in vehicles, including brake activation. After discussing the safety risks with her, the dealership arranged for a rental car, Hyman said, and eventually the use of an all-wheel drive SUV.
Okay, so Sarah, I'm dropping you off at Emily's?
Yep.
And Josh, you're going to?
Soccer, Dad. Soccer practice.
Right. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know when I pick you both up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What?
No!
Yep, and my dorky dad hat, and I'm gonna do my dad dance for all your friends. They'll love it!
Seriously? Why?
Because I like my short shorts. Of course, I could be talked out of it if you guys would just buckle up your seatbelts without giving me a hard time.
It's important to get your kids to buckle up for safety, no matter what it takes. And sometimes, all it takes is your parental powers of persuasion.
Okay, we're buckling up.
See, all buckled.
Good choice. I'll just have to do my dad dance at dinner time.
What?
No!
Do what you have to make sure your kids are wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Hey, Royce, when's the last time you drove and you were a little bit tipsy?
I don't do that.
On camera, no, we do not do that, do we?
No.
Here's the thing, though. There has been some language introduced in our infrastructure bill, our latest infrastructure bill, that says that we may have to put sensors inside of cars soon.
Yeah.
Called a DADDS, or a driver alcohol detection system for safety. This is something that's been pushed into our infrastructure bill. We can call it an earmark, or we can call it pork barrel, but it's not really that. It's more of just something that's slipped in, and it's kind of a cautionary tale as to what we do to pass what we need.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of people don't read all the sections that's in like any bill, truth be told. I mean, think about it. This is section 24-220 of the infrastructure bill.
Yep.
How many sections are in there are absolutely necessary for this thing to pass?
And if you think about it, that's 24,000 items.
Sections
that are before that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Insane. But let's talk about what's behind that, though. I mean, alcohol-impaired driving, we know that it's out there. It's 1/3 of all highway fatalities.
Yes.
And there were 10,142 deaths in 2019 with a BAC, with the drivers that have a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or higher.
Yeah, that's scary.
That's scary. That's people that we meet on the road. And it's funny because Jalopnik, I'm not saying it's funny at all. Don't read me that way, but it's funny because Jalopnik just released their top 10 vehicles for drunk drivers.
That's ironic. I will give you that.
Yeah. Ford Contour, Dodge Dakota, GMC Sierra, Chevrolet Silverado, Toyota Tacoma, GMC Sonoma, Audi A4, Chevrolet S-Series trucks, a Subaru WRX, and number one, a Dodge Ram 2500. Now,
yikes.
Here's the weird thing about that. I have driven or owned 5 out of the 10.
Only in Arkansas.
Only in Arkansas, right? So this bill, or this mandate, has the potential of putting touch sensors into cars to make sure that you don't drive drunk. Now, there are some caveats to that, aren't there?
Well, nothing's 100%, so you could be 100% sober and still have a boat anchor on your hand, because basically it's just a paperwork. It won't start. The other implications is, okay, if you're not sober, maybe you can have an infant or a child with you that you could technically get to start the car for you, and you still get to drive. So I don't like this idea so much, but there are others that are worse.
Well, the bill leaves things pretty open-ended, so we're gonna keep an eye on this on arbitrage. State of the Bands Weekend. More next. Stick around.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Pack your bags, investors. It's Winners and Losers, Hotels Edition. This winter, up 6%, operates as a casino entertainment company worldwide. The company develops and operates gaming establishments as well as related lodging, restaurant, horse racing, and entertainment facilities. As of March 25th, it operated 4 ship-based casinos. Century Casinos, symbol CNTY, starts at $15.75 a share. Next, this winter, up 4%, provides hospitality services to the natural resource industry in Canada, Australia, and the United States. The company develops lodges and villages and mobile accommodations, including modular, skid-mounted accommodation and central facilities that provide long-term and temporary workforce accommodations. It also provides food, housekeeping, and maintenance services, as well as laundry, facility management and maintenance, water and wastewater treatment, power generation, communication systems, security and logistics services, and comp management services. Civeo, symbol CVEO, starts at $23.33 a share. Last, this winter, up 3%, as a self-managed and self-administered lodging REIT focused on the acquisition, renovation, upbranding, and repositioning of upscale to upper upscale full-service hotels in the southern United States. Currently, the company's portfolio consists of investments in 12 hotel properties comprising 3,156 rooms, as well as interests in 2 condominium hotels and their associated rental programs. The company owns hotels that operate under the Hilton Worldwide, Hyatt Hotels, and Marriott International brands, as well as independent hotels. Southerly Hotels, symbol SOHON, starts at $15.19 a share. Losers this week. This loser, down 5%, operates as a gaming and hospitality company in the United States. The company operates casinos, including poker, keno, and race and online sports books, dining venues, bars, nightclubs and lounges, hotels, and entertainment venues. It also offers staffing and management services, accessories, souvenirs, and decorative items through retail stores and online sports betting and gaming services. Caesars Entertainment, symbol at CZR, starts at $106.48 a share. This loser, down 4%, owns, develops, invests in, operates, manages, and leases casinos and related hospitality and entertainment facilities in the United States. The company owns and operates the Silver Slipper Casino and Hotel in Hancock County, Mississippi, which has 750 slot machines and 24 table games, a surfaced parking lot, approximately 500 space parking garage, and a 129 guest room hotel, an on-site sports book, a fine dining restaurant, a buffet, quick service restaurant, and a 37 space beachfront RV park. Full House Resorts, symbol FLL, starts at $10.48 a share. Winners and Losers is provided for informational purposes only and does not constitute advice in trading. Percentages and stock prices were current as of time of recording. Arbitrage Trade Analytics LLC is solely responsible for the content of this podcast, but you should seek out the assistance of a licensed professional for investment advice.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous, as in Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Royce, you know I'm trying to eat a little bit better.
I'm just trying to eat a little more.
Yeah, you know, I'd love to be able to get some deer, or maybe some moose, or bison, or some turkey.
Yeah, it sounds like you've been playing around with that new food app, haven't you? Roadkill?
Oh, see, now here's the thing, man. Okay, so the reason why we're having this discussion, Wyoming and its Department of Transportation app has got a new tab called Roadkill. And Roadkill will allow you to log large roadkill, such as accidentally killed deer, elk, moose, wild bison, and turkey.
So everyone's going to Wyoming for Thanksgiving. Got it.
So here's the thing, right? I mean, and I hesitate on this because of the connotation, but wild meat has always been a good thing, right?
Yeah, the aroma of sizzling meat and melted butter wafted in a cast iron pan. Man, I can smell it now.
I mean, think about it. Here's the thing about, unfortunately, there are animals that are killed. What do you do with them?
Yeah, I guess you're not supposed to be able to bag them. You're supposed to have a hunting license to like do most wild game. So being able to actually, get it, market, it has other implications as well. Think about this, right? So you hit it. You now have hit an animal in this particular part of the country at this particular time of the year. Though that's data. People use data. Like, I think they're going to be using the app to do all kinds of things, like to track migration patterns, to say, okay, this species are living here, this species are living there, or maybe even put up warning signs that say, hey, look, elk crossing, deer crossing, depending on how many accidents you have in that particular area, right?
Yeah, we live in an area that's outside of mountainous terrain in Arkansas and Tennessee, and you see deer crossing signs, you see elk crossing signs, and you also see people whose cars are getting absolutely destroyed by these large deer, you know?
Hey, at least they can, pick it up, put it in the back of the truck, and take it home, get it butchered, and make sure if you do that, please make sure you skin it.
Yeah. I mean, there are certain things
There's a
you
deer
have
story
to do.
in there you don't want to hear.
I really don't. There are certain things you have to do with wildlife when you kill it and when you process it. But the thing is that unfortunately we have a lot of large animals that are encroaching on our habitats, or we encroaching on theirs.
Exactly.
And you can either go, well, that's a waste, or you can utilize the circle of life here.
Turn lemon into lemonade, roadkill into dinner.
And there's nothing wasted. And the thing is that there are rules to this. You can't go out after dark to collect roadkill. You can't go in certain areas like national parks and things like that, which Wyoming has an abundance of, by the way.
Hey, boo boo.
And the thing is that you utilize the meat. And that wraps it up for Arbitrage State of the Bands Weekend at arbitragetrade.com. See you Monday, guys.
Arbitrage Trade Analytics, LLC, is a privately held market research company. Arbitrage Trade Analytics, LLC, is solely responsible for the preparation and distribution of the content of this podcast. The opinions offered in this podcast are for informational purposes only and are not intended to be investment advice. Seek a duly licensed professional for investment advice. For more information about the informational research and services offered by Arbitrage Trade Analytics, LLC, please visit arbitrage